And let me just say once again, congratulations on your
Thank you.
victory. You ran a strong campaign, obviously. And
we had good people, just amazing volunteers, just a wonderful team.
Well, that's not only necessary, but probably essential. So.
And it's a great blessing.
Yeah, good. Hey, let me ask you a couple of questions.
Fire away.
And we'll get this started here if I could. I've toured U.S. Digital, your highly successful local business, and I saw that you had video monitors throughout your building that helped to document an array of statistics that your company was doing.
Let people see where we are, what we're doing.
Right. And essentially, I think it's fair to say that that is a metric that you provide to your staff and your employees, so as you just said, to see what you're doing.
Dash panels are very informative, they're very helpful, nobody wants to be blind.
The reason why I make that point is because, as you have said, you now are going to open the floodgate to private jobs.
Floodgates,
And with your business background, what metrics are you going to use to assure that you accomplish that goal? And the more specific you could be, the better it would be.
Sure. Well, I love contrasts. So the contrast, what would not be, or what would be failure, and what would be success. Okay? Failure is what we have now. When we see so many businesses that are failing, so many businesses that are already closing their doors, that's not just a failure of the business. That's a failure of our policies. That's a failure of our leadership. That's a community-wide failure. That's where we're coming from. This is the before. The after is when we release the athlete. The athlete is free enterprise. Business doesn't, or should I say, government does not create jobs. But government can take a athlete and just draw blood out of them until they don't have anything more to give. And right now the athlete's in the hospital, and we're still drawing blood from that athlete, and we're killing our businesses. So what would it look like? Well, first of all, you remove the barriers, you turn the athlete loose. And by the way, athletes will do wonderful things. You turn them loose. They want to run, they want to perform. So it's not like we have to do all these positive things. What we need to do is stop doing the wrong things. And what's going to be the measure of success? When people have jobs here. We have, 50 to 60,000 people driving across into Portland now. That represents $100 million a year just in lost income tax floating over there. When those people are working over here, we have a significant increase. And metrics should be obvious to us. 3 years from now, I want 60 Minutes to come in and say, what in the world did they do in Clark County? How did they turn it around? I want to see 2020 come in and say, this is the model for the nation. How did they do it? Well, it's not the government that does it. It's free enterprise. If you turn free enterprise loose, they will do it. So why are they not doing it now? Mainly because we put obstacles in their path.
But let me get back to the metrics piece.
Sure.
And you used the metric there, for example, that said around 50,000 people go to Portland every day to work. Give me a time frame and what you would like to see that number to be, and when do you think you would see that number? I'm assuming it would be coming down.
Absolutely be coming down.
But what would it look like? I mean, would it look
it'll look
20,000 people going to Portland?
It'll look like a trend. Right now, I love graphs. Okay?
I know.
This is time, this is years, okay, or months, and this is number of people out of work.
Right.
A number of people driving someplace else that we're not competing right now with other communities, and we should compete. We have every reason to compete. So what I'm looking for is, instead of it doing this or doing flat or doing stagnation or stifling, I want to see it trend up.
But you set goals, right? In your business, you set goals?
I set directions, and I set trends, and I empower people to be able to get us going in the right direction.
So I understand that you've said.
You looking for hard numbers?
Well, I'm looking for a harder number than what you're giving me. Yes.
I don't have hard numbers.
Okay.
But what I do have is a direction, a path, and a trend.
Okay.
And business will do what it will do when we turn it loose. We have every reason for this area to prosper and grow we have, especially during this time, we are one of only 3 states on the West Coast. You got California, the businesses, thousands of businesses are fleeing from California. They're going somewhere. They're already on the West Coast. They want to stay on the West Coast, a lot of them. Well, we should outcompete Oregon. But Oregon isn't so business friendly. We're much more business friendly here. We don't have any state income tax here. We have an opportunity here to have a great quality of life. And financially, we ought to be able to make it just great here. What we need to be able to do is to make this business friendly, so that when those individuals down there in California saying, where ought we to go to get relief, it's not dramatic enough to go to Oregon. They're going to check out Clark County, Washington. And there are a number of people here. We have friends down in California. A lot of people have California. They're going to call up and say, we're going to escape from here. Where ought we to go? Well, let me tell you what we're doing in Clark County. And this is going to be restoring the same reasons, the same ingredients when we were checking out, coming, where ought we to land from California. Clark County is, we can very well compete.
Okay, so, but just to be, because I know that I don't think you have this answer, but you're not willing to say, I think I can bring unemployment down by this much, or I can reduce the number of people going across the bridge for work by this much. All you're saying is you think you can do that, but you don't have any number in your head that says, here's what I think where we ought to be in 2 years or 3 years.
I can tell you this, that every job counts.
Right.
Right now we've got the county commissioners have taken one step in the right direction, and they said that, well, if you're guaranteed that you're going to hire at least 10 people full-time for 2 years, then we'll give you some breaks. Well, what about the 1 or the 2 or the 8 or the 9 individuals? That's not how businesses normally start out. They start out with 1 or 2 or 3, and if they're small, they'll grow.
Right. Well, let me try it another way. If a year from now, would you be disappointed if Clark County's unemployment didn't come down by 2%?
I would be very disappointed if the turnaround is not dramatic.
Right.
It can't be more of the same. It can't be just a little bit better.
So at least you're saying that with your help and others, of course, as well, you can bring this unemployment number down, because it's pretty high right now.
Yeah.
You could bring this unemployment down considerably.
Well, I believe that when we start doing the right things, and we make it this emergency status right now, this is the emergency mode right now, that we are going to stop this stagnation, and we're going to welcome, and we're going to do whatever we can to help business to thrive in this area, that it will be dramatic.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
2%, 3%, sounds good to me. 4% is better yet. Interview me in a year, okay?
Right, and it better be there because we need it.
Yes, and then this is also, you said me. I'm not going to take credit for this, okay? This is going to be a team effort.
Yes.
And Steve Stewart's going to be involved. He's going to get some good credit on this, okay? Tom Milke's going to be involved. The staff is going to be involved. So this is not about David.
Right.
This is about Clark County, and this is about a team of people that finally have the freedom to move in the right direction.
Very good.